Hi guys, so the advice from Brexiteers this Christmas is stop wanting so much stuff. Isabel Oakeshott, a former political editor and current Brexiteer at GB News, had a message for people that are currently facing shortages of things they want for Christmas. Now, the retail sector has predicted a nightmare Christmas as there will be a lack of goods that most British people want. But stop your complaining because that's not what Christmas is all about. Isabel tries to present the lack of availability as a benefit.
Kate Martin of the Traditional Farm Fresh Turkey Association, whatever that is, has talked of a national shortage of turkeys in supermarkets in the run-up to Christmas. There are going to be less turkeys on farms this year because the big processors, she says, know that they will not get them processed in the normal way. But it doesn't stop there. There are supply chain issues with all sorts of goods, leading to predictions of toys being not enough toys at Christmas, a shortage of bikes, sofas, electronic goods, you name it. Talking about how things might look in December, earlier this week, one retail analyst, Clive Black of Shore Capital, literally used the words nightmare, saying a lot of people on Christmas Day will be asking, what the hell is this? So these predictions of a nightmare Christmas, really? First of all, I do think if your Christmas joy depends on getting a particular type of turkey for lunch or the latest must-have toy for little Johnny, I would suggest you need to take a long, hard look and we really have a think about what Christmas is all about. Now, don't worry, I'm not about to deliver you a religious sermon on the meaning of Christmas, but really, there's not going to be no food in the shops and no toys, and surely a great Christmas isn't just about whether you can buy a particular brand of this or that.
So, back in 2020, people like myself said that if Boris Johnson didn't get a trade deal with the European Union, there would likely be shortages in the UK. Now, we were dismissed at the time by Brexiteers as engaging in Project Fear. Remember, that was in a no-deal Brexit scenario. Well, he got a deal, and there are still shortages. Now, Brexiteers have gone through a number of phases over the last 12 months. First, they said there would be no shortages, Project Fear. Second, as supermarket chains predicted gaps on shelves, Brexiteers called it Ramona propaganda. For every photo of an empty supermarket shelf in Great Britain, Brexiteers had a counter one from a country in the EU, of course taken from 2020 during the pandemic or sometime in the past when the supermarket was out of stock for some reason, presenting it as, yes, it's happening in the EU too, when in reality it was not. Then as the gaps grew, they blamed the pingdemic. Then as the pingdemic passed, the situation didn't improve, they blamed the pandemic. Finally, we're at the stage where you can't keep blaming the pandemic, you have to admit that Brexit is the result of this. And they have come up with two responses. One is, we knew this was going to happen, even though they dismissed such a scenario in the past as Project Fear. And two, stop complaining, look on the bright side. Shortages are driving up wages, or shortages are forcing people to understand the true meaning of Christmas. The people who told you that there would be no shortages and called people like myself who raised the possibility as traitors, they are now trying to convince you that shortages are good for workers and good for the soul. The fact is the people telling you this will not suffer and have not suffered the consequences of Brexit. They never will, ordinary people will, and they will continue to lie and cheat the public into supporting something that is bad for the poor and the working class. The situation with Brexit is not going to improve in the short term, simply because the people who are in charge do not care. The Tories and the Brexiteers have created obstacles for business, and they want business to sort out the mess. Tell me, when was the last time you heard a Brexiteer admit that they were wrong? I'm not talking about people who voted Brexit, I'm talking about Brexiteers. Now do we see the problem? Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.